What if I told you there's one celebrity who doesn't need constant headlines to shake an entire industry, because his presence alone makes even the most established stars quietly reassess themselves? Not out of fear, not out of rivalry, but out of something rarer in modern entertainment: real standards. Today, we're talking about Wang Yibo, and the reason his name keeps circulating in conversations that go far beyond fandom, into boardrooms, film sets, and even the circles where top-tier stars usually feel untouchable. Most celebrity stories chase the same currency: noise. A louder headline, a sharper edit, a more dramatic angle. This one lands differently because it asks a question viewers rarely hear in entertainment coverage. What does a career mean when the spotlight moves on? The story isn't built around a single viral moment. It's built around the slow, almost invisible work of becoming someone audiences can trust. That's why it resonates beyond fandom. People aren't only watching Wang Yibo, they're watching a philosophy unfold. For many viewers, the traffic era feels familiar. It mirrors their own lives. The pressure to perform, to be seen, to prove worth in public. So when a narrative appears that values craft over spectacle, it doesn't feel like gossip. It feels like relief. It suggests that the world still makes room for those who keep their heads down and build something lasting. At its core, this story offers hope without preaching. It quietly reassures the audience that they don't have to win every day online to be winning in life. If you can improve, stay disciplined, and protect your values, you are already doing something rare. That's what makes this feel different. It's not only about a star, it's about a standard. There is a kind of confidence that needs an audience to exist, and another kind that exists even when no one is watching. The second kind is what truly changes a room. In the entertainment industry, where almost everything is mediated through cameras, social platforms, and carefully chosen narratives, silent strength can feel unsettling. It creates contrast. It raises the temperature without raising the volume. The idea of a silent flex isn't about superiority. It's about gravity. It's what happens when someone walks onto a set prepared, focused, and steady, and the people around them instinctively adjust. Not because they're intimidated, but because they recognize seriousness. It's the director noticing you listen before you speak. It's the crew sensing you respect their time. It's the co-star feeling safe because you come with discipline, not chaos. This is why silent professionalism can be more powerful than loud charisma. It doesn't demand attention. It earns it. It doesn't rely on being liked. It relies on being reliable. And reliability is a rare kind of influence in any industry, not just entertainment. The audience may not see every behind-the-scenes detail, but they can feel the result. A performer whose energy looks grounded, not desperate. Fame often arrives like a storm. Sudden, bright, impossible to ignore. But storms don't last. Legacy, by contrast, is built like architecture. Takes time. Takes patience. Takes repetition. That's why the difference between loud fame and quiet legacy becomes more obvious as audiences grow older. Viewers stop asking, "Who is trending?" and start asking, "Who still matters when the trend is gone?" The louder the fame, the more it needs fuel. It needs updates, appearances, a constant sense of movement. Quiet legacy doesn't need to prove itself daily. It returns in the way people revisit a role years later and still feel something. It returns in the way a character becomes a reference point, a shared memory, a line someone quotes when they can't find the right words for their own feelings. This part of the story works because it speaks to a truth people already know but rarely hear said aloud. Attention is not the same as impact. Many viewers are tired of the endless churn of content designed to be consumed and forgotten. They want something that stays with them, even if it arrives softly. So when a narrative suggests that real acting is measured by what remains in the audience, rather than what explodes online, it feels like a return to meaning. Not a rejection of modern fame, but a reminder that the quiet things often last the longest. People often assume big stars notice only numbers. Box office, brand deals, follower counts. But inside the industry, the most established names tend to watch something else. Signals. They look for whether a person can carry pressure without breaking character, whether they can remain steady when the room is unstable, and whether their reputation will still hold when the next season changes the conversation. Top stars have survived enough waves of hype to know what fades. They've seen careers built on momentum collapse when momentum runs out. So they pay attention to what looks durable: work ethic, professionalism, and the ability to keep improving without needing applause for every step. In that sense, the notice isn't about envy. It's recognition. Sometimes it's even a kind of respect mixed with discomfort because it challenges the idea that status alone is enough. Another factor is credibility. On set, credibility is currency. You don't earn it with headlines. You earn it by being dependable. Learning quickly, taking direction well, staying calm when things go wrong, and treating other people's labor with dignity. When someone embodies those traits, the most seasoned professionals can't help but clock it. This angle deepens the story because it reframes the drama. It's not about one person outshining others. It's about a standard that quietly spreads. The biggest stars notice him the way athletes notice discipline. Not as a threat, but as proof that the game still has rules. The modern internet rewards noise. Outrage, oversharing, constant reinvention, and the illusion of intimacy. Yet many viewers are quietly exhausted by it. They might click on drama, but they don't necessarily feel good afterwards. That's why an anti-noise presence becomes unexpectedly magnetic. It offers a different kind of emotional experience. Calm, focus, and a sense of dignity. An anti-noise brand isn't empty or distant. It's restrained. It chooses clarity over chaos. It doesn't try to make the audience feel like they're inside every private moment. Instead, it invites them to focus on the work and the meaning behind it. For many people, especially those managing stress, responsibilities, and a fast-moving life, this feels like breathable air. It's not that they want less emotion. They want emotion that is earned. This is where the content becomes quietly powerful. It positions discipline as attractive, and it frames professionalism as a kind of romance. The romance of someone who shows up, improves, and doesn't sell their soul to be seen. That's a story people want to believe in because it suggests there is still a path that doesn't require self-destruction. In a culture of constant performance, restraint stands out. And when audiences sense restraint, they often project integrity onto it. Whether every detail is perfectly true isn't the point. The emotional truth is what hooks them. The desire for something real in a world that feels increasingly loud. Most careers don't collapse because of one big mistake. They collapse because of small, repeated habits that erode the foundation. That's why ordinary habits, done consistently, are secretly extraordinary. Especially in an industry where temptation, distraction, and ego are built into the environment. The rarest habit is showing up with the same seriousness on an ordinary day as you do on a headline day. It's doing the reading, the training, the rehearsal, the preparation, even when no one is filming you doing it. It's staying teachable after success, which is difficult because success whispers, "You've arrived." But craft demands the opposite. Keep going. Another rare habit is respect. Real respect is not a speech. It's timekeeping, listening, gratitude, and not treating people as interchangeable. It's understanding that a set is a living ecosystem, and every role matters. When someone practices that kind of respect, they become safe to work with. And safety is a form of power because it allows the work to breathe. Finally, there's the habit of protecting your inner life. You can't pour emotion into a role if your identity is constantly being sold for attention. Keeping some things private isn't cold. It's protective. Preserves depth. This section matters because it makes the story replicable. Viewers don't just admire from afar. They can borrow the habits. It turns celebrity content into something personal. A reminder that the most impressive growth often looks boring day to day, and that's exactly why it works.